If you spend any time hanging around my channel, you're going to realize that I am a huge Star Wars fan. I've made many Star Wars sculptures throughout the years, from a TIE Fighter, Millennium Falcon, Studio Scale Slave 1, AT-STs in multiple sizes, and my AT-AT mailbox. Now the mailbox sets itself apart because not only is it a cool Star Wars sculpture, but it's also a functional piece of art. I get to use that thing every day. And also, if you're like me, I spend a lot of time in front of a computer, doing a lot of video editing. Yeah, what he said, lots of video editing. I do some gaming. I think it's time to take my love of Star Wars and my love of high-end computing and bring them together. And where I like to start all my projects like this is with the highest quality reference photos I can get my hands on. From there, I will blow that image up and print it out to the desired scale of the project. I will then transfer those dimensions to cardboard. Once I have a cardboard shape that I like, I will then cut and carefully label that cardboard into sections and transfer those dimensions to steel. Well, the bulk of the sculpting on the Jawa Sand Crawler PC case is complete. I'm currently at the phase where I'm test fitting the PC components to make sure everything fits, trying to do some wire management. It's going to be kind of a tight fit even with the small components. There's a lot to be crammed in here. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. Once I get everything wired and all the brackets welded, then it's on to paint. And paint will really bring this thing together. And we are done. It took me over a month to make this sucker. To recap, it is a Ryzen 9 3950X with a NVIDIA GTX 1070 graphics card. I didn't have a newer card on hand, so I used what I had. 32 gigs of RAM, a 2 terabyte M.2 PCIe Express Gen 4, and that's the nice thing about these new Ryzen processors is that they support PCIe Express Gen 4. That's why I went with the X570 motherboard. It's been running the Heaven benchmark for about an hour now, and we're sitting at, over 100 frames per second at 40 degrees C on the graphics card. Both the graphics card and the CPU are water-cooled with a triple fan radiator exhausting up and out. And I don't know if you can hear it on the boom mic here, but it is running right now. Some of you are probably cringing at the type of hose that I used and the clamps that I used. Believe it or not, that was a purposeful choice. I wanted to go with a more industrial look inside because this was supposedly the guts of the sand crawler, so I didn't do a really futuristic, bent, a clear acrylic tubing type setup. I wanted to do more of a robust, rugged setup. So that's why I used the spring clamps on the tubing and the black maintenance-free tubing. It's robust, it looks good, and it'll last pretty much forever. And the paint job, oh my goodness, the paint job. The flat brown that I purchased to paint this was the wrong shade, and I could not locate what I would call the proper shade. So I had to layer up using multiple layers of paint, including things like coffee, and then I used a gray grout to simulate the dust of the desert where they drive this. And then once all of that paintwork was done, it is coated with a matte finish clear coat to lock all the small particles in place and to protect it from water and other damage. So yeah, it is probably my most complicated paint job, including Slave 1. Slave 1 was a hard paint job, but this one took the longest. It was 2 days worth of painting. And scribing all those little lines, because that's how I get these panel lines, is I actually hand scribe through the paint into the primer, which is a sandable primer. That's how I get those lines. Compared to a lot of mid-sized towers, this is about the right size. It's a little longer than a standard tower, but it fits on my desk just fine. So I'm going to use this for a while. I might offer it up for sale if someone's interested. I really don't know. I need to thank some people. I need to thank Benchmark Abrasives for providing me with the abrasives that I needed to make this. Without their support, this channel, this project would not be possible. I have a link in the description to their website. Give them a look. If you're thinking about doing metal work, you're going to need cutoff wheels, flap discs, buffing pads, Benchmark Abrasives is where to go to get what you need. I've been using them for years and I love their products. I also need to thank Fronius Welders. Fronius is also a sponsor of this channel, and they provided me with the Trans Steel 2200 that I use to weld this thing up, and it is the smoothest welding MIG welder I've ever had my grubby little paws on. So thank you, Fronius. And last but not least is my patrons. Honestly, without my patrons, I don't think I could keep doing this. My patrons give me encouragement, moral support, financial support. They really take care of me and allow me to do this. So I was just talking to a patron today on the Discord server, and he was giving me advice on this video. So you know who you are, and sir, I thank you. If you'd like to become a patron, I have a link below in the description. I do special edits of my videos going more in depth on the work that I do specifically for patrons, and patrons get an early preview of everything that I make. So yes, I am Jason. This is Works by Hearst. This is the Jawa Sand Crawler PC build. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch all of you in the next one.